So, wow. I mean, wow, what is going on in the world? Wow, wow, wow. Even me, whose work is all about, mindfulness and how we react to things. I mean, even me, I'm finding this extremely challenging. So I was doing quite well. Up until earlier this week, I was actually doing really well. And I was very impressed with myself. I was thinking, wow, all these practices, all these years, I mean, you're really holding up well. But I have to say, midweek, I got a really random phone call, and it was so freaky. And I was in the middle of producing my sort of weekly thing, and because I was sort of, um, I went out of my moment and I went off my instincts. So two things happened in a row where I didn't listen to my intuition because I think the world's energy is kind of like seeping its way into us, and it's seeping its way into us unconsciously. So even when we're super conscious of what we're wanting to let into our mind, and so there's a subliminal fear that's kind of all around us. And in the blog, which I wrote last week, which was a mindful response to current events, I actually mentioned a really fun Will Smith film called Focus. And that's a great film. I thought it was on Netflix, but it's not. It's I think it's on Amazon, on Prime Amazon. Such a great film. So if you can have access to see this film, because it explains the whole subliminal messaging and how it seeps into our system, and explains it in a really fun way because it's quite a fun film. But it really is that it's all around us. The messaging everywhere we look, everywhere we see, it's kind of coming right back at us. Fear, fear, fear. And so it's a real work at the moment to use every single tool, technique, strategy that we have in the toolbox to choose how we react to what's currently going on. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you a few things that have been helping me and might help you too. So, and these are all natural possibilities, natural extras, natural extra support that we can call on during these times. First one is Rescue Remedy. This is an essence made from flowers, so it's so natural. It's totally natural, and it's fantastic. You put 4 drops in your water. You can put 4 drops directly under your tongue, and it's just so comforting. And so that's a great one to just add in, first thing in the morning or last thing at night or whenever you need it. It's really fantastic. It's everywhere. It's in all the health food stores. It's everywhere. It's just flower essences. So pretty basic. Now this is a multivitamin. It's made by Wild Nutrition, which is a fantastic UK company. It's all whole foods. It's a fantastic supplement. But especially what I'm into at the moment in this supplement is the ashwagandha. So this is ashwagandha, and you can get ashwagandha separately and just put a few drops in your water and drink it as well. Ashwagandha is an Ayurvedic super supportive. It's super supportive for times when we're feeling quite stressed, and it helps the body remove that stress from our system in a natural way. I linked to the Chopra Center. I really like Deepak Chopra's work, and because he's a doctor, I kind of really trust his take on things. And so I'll link to their explanation of what ashwagandha is in the Ayurvedic sense, so that you can see how fantastic it is. And I have to say that just taking one, the dose is more than 1 per day, but I just take one, just get a bit of ashwagandha into my system. It really helps. So I think that's a great support as well. So these days I already wash my hands about 100 times a day. That comes from when I worked with kids, and I think that's great help for me in not getting sick over the years. But these days, we have to obviously be extra vigilant about washing the hands. I've had this practice where I've taught every child I've ever come across to wash their hands to the happy birthday song, the length of the entire happy birthday song. So it's like, happy birthday to me, and then the next one they insert their name. So you sing the entire song. And that's a good length. And I know that Gloria Gaynor's come out out with the I Will Survive, which again, I put the link in my blog from last week. So it's such a fun way to just kind of like get the attitude back in. The I Will Survive is you're washing your hands, because it's, health always comes back to us and what we're wanting in terms of our health and our well-being. It's always our choice back to good health, to better immunity, to a stronger system. That thing which is like, it takes as much effort to be miserable as it does to feel strong. We just have to make sure that during this time we're using every spiritual, mindful mindset tool that we have. And luckily my work is super supportive of that, and there's so much. So even me, I just go every day to a new thing that I can add into the combo. So make sure that remember there's a fantastic guided visualization. So it's actually meditation. It's like 10 minutes of me guiding you out of a fearful place and into the things that you actually want to create. That's in my free goodies. So if you haven't downloaded that, make sure that you do. I'll link it below. I'll link it in the description below. Just grab that. It's in the free goodies, and it's 9 minutes of super relaxing music, super soothing messaging, and just a time to bring the brain back to focus on what it is that we're actually wanting to create. So you're gonna love that. I love it. I mean, my clients love it. For me, I go to it when I'm feeling like I need to shift energies. So definitely grab that. You'll find it down there. Now, so for hand washing. So obviously, when we walk into the house, we want to wash our hands with something quite strong and quite efficient. But for frequent washing, I've always used these products, Faith in Nature. This isn't the hand wash, this is the body wash. But I like this one because I've just discovered it, and it's turmeric and lemon. And turmeric is super supportive for building immunity and for making sure that that we're in a very strong place to not catch anything. So I usually use their lavender hand soap, and I love it because I wash my hands a lot. Naturally, even before this. So when you're washing your hands a lot, you want something that's going to clean but not dry. And with the lavender essences, lavender is actually a natural disinfectant. When I was in New York, I had a friend in London who would send me the Faith in Nature soaps, like the actual soaps, the lavender soap, from London to New York, because I just love them so much. So I'm a big fan of this product, and I think it's a great product. And I think for like extra hand, once you're in the house and you've done the sort of deep diligence of washing your hands thoroughly, once you then are just keeping it up while you're at home, I think this is fantastic. I think Faith in Nature is fantastic. Okay, so I'm trying to include products from everywhere because I didn't want this video to be all about UK products. So I'm trying to make sure that you guys can all get it. The Rescue Remedy, everybody can get. The next product I'm going to talk about, everybody can get as well. So WOW is the #1 homeopathy company in the world. And I discovered this at Whole Foods in New York, actually, before I even opened my center in Paris. And at the time I was working with kids, and you know how kids come in with every virus known to man, sort of sneezing and coughing in everybody's face because they still haven't learned the basics. Especially I was working with the little ones, Actually, Dr. Maria Montessori once taught a classroom of little 3 to 6s how to blow their nose. And they clapped at the end of that. That's how much children want to learn about growing and developing. It's just beautiful. They actually just clapped for learning how to blow their nose. Can you believe it? So they do want to be taught these things. They want to be taught how to take care of themselves. So when we teach them how to sing the happy birthday song, and we're teaching them all sorts of things. Anyway, going back to Oscillo. So Oscillo has saved my life for the last 10 years, I would say. The last 10 winters, it has kept me safe. Anytime I've ever felt anything was coming on, that feeling you get pre-flu, the feeling of your bones being a little bit broken up, the feeling of basically a sore throat, or however way it starts for you, I always go to Oscillo the minute I feel there's a whiff of anything in my system, and it holds it in its tracks. So the flu can't actually make it into my system. So Oscillo has saved me all these years. So I'm ready. I'm stocked up, and I think it's fantastic because it's homeopathic as well. And when I moved to France and opened Kids Meridian, I remember I'd go into the pharmacy, which was around the corner from me in Paris. They're the best pharmacies. And in France, there are the best pharmacies. They're kind of like, they're really like amazing. Anyway, and the pharmacist would tell me that she would take this as a preventative every Sunday because she knew that during the winter, all these people were going to come in with fevers and coughs and stuff. And she said that that protected her, that would protect her every winter. So I think, Osilo is good. And as long as we're taking care of ourselves and building up our immunity with our mindset and with our, moving our bodies and eating healthy and getting good amount of sleep and just doing whatever we need to do to take care of ourselves, self-care becomes so important at a time like this. It's a non-negotiable. You know how when the plane lands, they sort of say put your own safety mask on first before you put anyone else's, including your kids, because you cannot help anyone unless your safety mask is on first. And this is a time where self-care becomes that important. It's so important that we take care of ourselves during this time. So, because we can only take care of those around us and those we love and the world when we are taking extra care of ourselves right now. This is like extreme self-care, as Cheryl Richardson would call it. So anyway, I think Osilo is great, and it's good for kids as well. You can give it to kids too. They're little tubes that taste really nice. They're little sweeties. So that's been really helpful to me. I love this company. In fact, as an addendum, I actually used their product. I used to suffer from hay fever, like my whole life. I had hay fever, and I get it quite badly actually during the season, the specific season of what I was allergic to. And when I was in France, I got their Boiron's homeopathic remedy for hay fever, which is called Rhinallergie. And I took that for that season when I was in Paris, that first summer when I was there. And I never got hay fever again after that. I mean, it healed it for me like forever. So I'm a big believer in Boiron. I think it's a great company. I think their products are fantastic and they've helped me. And I know they work for a lot of, anyone who's discovered Osilo is a fan. So this one is a good one to keep in the sort of extra box for this time. Yeah. Time tea. Tisane de thym. Actually, for my Lebanese people, you like this too. So this is super warming to the system. So it basically warms your system from the inside out. So anytime you're feeling cold, you know that feeling that you feel with the cold sort of going into your system, you just drink this with some honey. It's delicious. It's quite strong, actually. I'm going to be honest, it's quite strong, but with a bit of honey, it's quite nice, and it's super warming. You'll feel really nice and warm afterwards. So it's a nice one to have during this time when we want to strengthen our immunity and build up resistance. I did mention turmeric with the Faith and Nature products. There's also a lovely like powder that Paka make. I didn't actually gather it here in my things, but I do have it. It's a Paka powder, which is a turmeric latte. So you can you can heat up some almond milk or cashew milk, whichever milk you like, and basically add a couple of spoonfuls of this Paka turmeric chai, and I'll add the link so you can see it's got beautiful ingredients, kind of cinnamon and cardamom and that whole sort of chai kind of taste, but lots of turmeric, which is fantastic for immunity building. And I'm gonna finish up on something that I love. This is my favorite. So the Goddess line, they make pure essences. I used to buy them at Jiva Mukti in the US, and in fact they used to have them in London at Jiva Mukti. They just haven't had them, they just don't have them right now. And Parvati is lovely. It's a very vanilla type smell, which is very calming. So I love it when I come out of the shower just to put a few drops here and there. It's just such a lovely, lovely, lovely essence. So if you're in the US, you guys have access to it online as well. You can get Parvati. You can check out all the different ones. They all serve different things. This one's nice because it's very calming to the system. And Parvati is the goddess of perseverance. So she's a very strong, like all the goddesses is super strong, but she's lovely because she's perseverance and she's like keep going. And so I like what she represents. Parvati is one of my favorite of the goddesses out there. If you have time on your hands, read more about the goddesses. They're fabulous. The Indian goddesses are divine, and they all have such powerful messages that are so important to all of us for different phases in our life. So anyway, this is a video about some of my favorite products to add to your um, toolbox during this time. And remember to grab the visualization and let me help you, let me guide you out of fear and into love by choice, by continuing to focus on what it is that we want to focus on and not let the messaging that's coming at us from everywhere um, bombard what our mind can take in. So this is a time to be very selective about the information you let into your mind, the feeds you have on your timelines. If you need to mute some people for now, no worries. Just really look after the information that's coming to you. Take good care of yourself. Support your system as well as you can. I'm sharing natural products that can help in that process, but you go ahead and discover. The vibes in the health food stores are fabulous. People are so lovely and supportive at this time as everyone's sort of gathering stuff and going a bit bananas. But you just preserve yourself, and that way you can uplift the world with your presence and with your being. So I'm sending you love. I'm thinking of you all, and I'm here for you. Anytime you feel you need a dose of anything, just pop over to rania.world, and I will support you in every way I possibly can. So I will be present with you during this time. So you take care of yourselves. I'm sending you all so much love, and until soon. Bye.